The following clip is from a previously recorded episode of the Cherish Each Moment podcast. So like I said, I have a new book that I'm reading and studying for a few years now, probably 2 or 3 years now. I have been following David Meller on Instagram. He is the head groundskeeper at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, home of the Boston Red Sox. And in my opinion, he's a legend. He posts some great content on his Instagram, and I have since picked up his book, The Lawn Bible. I've got it right here in front of me. And I started reading it this past week. I've only had time to get into a few pages, the first chapter or so. But like I said, there has been just some awesome thoughts that just stood out to me in the very, very first page of the book here. And I wanted to share them with you. If you want some really good reading material to go through, I highly recommend this book. And I'm only a chapter into it. It's just so thorough, and there's just a couple hundred pages of information here, almost 300 pages. I'd say the meat of everything is about 260 pages. So this will keep me busy for a while, and I would love to just continue sharing some nuggets and some gems from this on the podcast here, and read a couple things out of here, just some highlights, and share my thoughts on them. And I think it'll be a great addition to this podcast and the conversation we have here. But again, this is the Lawn Bible. It's by David Meller, head groundskeeper at Fenway Park. And on the very first page, he says, here's what I believe. And this is in the introduction. And he says, great lawns are where memories are made. And I love that. I think that is the core of everything. That's what lawns are for. Of course, we want them to look good and all of that good stuff, but it's the lawns where we're outside with our families and spending time with the kids, and that's where we're making the memories. So he says the great lawns are where memories are made. The feeling of a lush carpet of green under bare feet, the smell of freshly cut grass, a pile-up of grass-stained kids in a rowdy neighborhood game of football, that first $5 you earned cutting someone else's lawn. It's up to you to create a lawn where the memories want to happen. And I love that. I think that's poetic, and I'm all for it. One other thing that I enjoyed from the same page, and I think that a lot of people need to understand this, especially people in the comment section on not just my YouTube channel, but others too. And it's the fourth point he makes here in what he believes. He says, there is no ideal lawn. Think about that. There is no ideal lawn. He says, there's your ideal, and there's my ideal. And those ideals could be worlds apart. And then he says this, that is why the lawn is a perfect expression of American individuality. What else can you say? That right there is perfect. There's no better way to describe that. And for anyone who goes and comments on videos and says, you're not supposed to do it that way, I do it this way and it's way better, good for you. Keep doing it that way. That's your ideal. And just because it's your ideal doesn't mean that it's my ideal too. Sure, it could be easier for you. It could be more cost effective. It could take you less time. But your lawn and your circumstances and your conditions, etc., 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 are not mine. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. All it is a different expression of our individuality. That's okay. I love that. I think that's great. As you can tell, I'm pumped about this book. I'm excited to continue to read it and study it and just kind of get into Mr. Meller's head here. And yeah, this is just great. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link in the show notes, and you can grab that off of Amazon and support him. So super cool. Yeah, that's what I'm up to in any ounce of free time that I can find where I can stay awake. I'm in this book.